Hello and welcome to today's Republican Voice. I'm Barry Greenspan. I'm the producer of the series. I'm a former chairman and former member of the Marlin Republican City Committee, and I'm an associate member of the Medford Republican City Committee. My guest in this edition is Mr. Juan Cabrera, who is president of the Massachusetts Republican Hispanic Assembly.
That's correct.
Right. And it's a fairly new organization in Massachusetts, am I correct?
Yes. But nationally, it was created in 1972 by George Bush, excuse me, when he was chairman of the Republican Party.
True.
The founders of the organization were Ben Fernandez and Fernando Oaxaca.
And they were...
They are Mexican Americans.
And what positions did they hold? They were elected officials?
They were working for Nixon, some of them. So they are Mexican American from California, Colorado. And they started the organization back in 1972.
What are the main objectives of having a Republican Hispanic Assembly in Massachusetts?
Well, nationally and here it's the same, to bring Hispanics to the Republican Party and elect officials to Republicans to office.
In Washington, between the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives, there are two separate Hispanic organizations for Democrats and Republicans. There was a split some years ago. Mm-hmm. The Congressional Hispanic Caucus, which is all Democrats, has one senator, Menendez from New Jersey, and 22 in the House, and 2 are non-voting from Puerto Rico and 1 from one of the islands in the Pacific. Whereas the Republicans have something called the Republican Hispanic Conference, and there are only 4 in the House, and from just 2 different states. In fact, 2 are even from the same family.
But there's ballot.
It's true. And one is Devin Nunes of Northern California. But there's also 5 associate members.
And it's Ileana Ross.
True, she's on here as well, from Florida.
From Florida.
And so the Republicans have a lot of catching up to do. In fact, when it comes to even constitutional offices, other than the governor of Puerto Rico, which of course is not a state, but the lieutenant governor of California is the highest ranking Republican that holds in a constitutional office in any of the 50 states. Like I said, there is a lot of ground. Yeah. What do you think is keeping Hispanics from the Republican Party?
Well, what happened is, my opinion is that the media do not help the Republican Party, and unfortunately the Hispanic media in most of the time is against the Republican Party because they follow the crowd of the national media, and they present this bad image of the Republican Party.
You are originally from
Cuba.
Cuba. Now the Cuban Americans are a very loyal, overwhelming majority of Cuban Americans do vote Republican, correct?
That's correct, yes.
But that's the only Hispanic group that you know of that is in that category?
Yes, I believe if you look at the majorities, the Cuban people are the one who really support the Republican Party. I do not accept the idea that all the Hispanics are anti-Republicans. I think a lot of Hispanics look at the candidates, their own issues, and most of the time they would vote on for that person.
Coming from Cuba, you came here as a rather young man.
I was young,
okay.
1965.
Okay, so compare and contrast life under Fulgencio Batista before 1959 and call it Cuba BC before Castro.
That's right.
And just how drastic were the changes when Castro came to power?
Batista was a dictator. I don't believe that was as bad as it's portraying in this country and around the world. He brought a lot of progress to Cuba. He was a good, on that reference, he was a very good president. The media didn't help. We had Herbert Matthews that said that Fidel Castro was the messiah for Cuba. Then he published an editorial pages of the New York Times in 1958, this tremendous article about how good Fidel Castro was and how bad Batista was. And that's, convinced the American public opinion to make pressures against the Cuban regime, and the United States stopped shipping weapons there and parts and so forth. So he had to depart. So in reference to Fidel Castro, the difference is that I believe that Fidel Castro had the idea to be communist since before he arrived to power. He associates with Che Guevara, Antonio Núñez Jiménez, a communist, Alberto Bayo, who trained him in Mexico on the guerrilla warfare. He came from Spain. He was a communist. You know, a lot of people, most of Raúl Castro is communist since he was 21 years old. So raised a communist. Fidel wasn't, but Raúl was. So all these people, Fidel is crazy. He's a guy, yeah, he's schizophrenic. Anybody can tell him any story he believes. He hates the America. He hates this country, whatever reason is. And then he would like a revenge. He wants to just make Cuba an example. He believes he's a big man and he can change the world, and, you know, and that's the story, more or less.
Now, like I said, it's a fairly new organization in Massachusetts. You held a charter meeting somewhere recently? When you were elected as president?
We are a Massachusetts organization. We are raised with the IRS. We have meetings. We have a board. So we're supporting Republican candidates in the area, whatever. We have people, you know, we don't have too many people yet, but we have people that can help them with flyers and so forth. So that's what we're doing.
I know that the Massachusetts State Legislature, there are Hispanic members, but none of them are Republicans. But what about any Hispanic Republicans that hold municipal office, either like city councilors in Massachusetts or school committee members, things like that?
Well, I don't know that for sure. I know there are some Hispanic running for office at this election. Mr. Tabi is running here, I think, from Andover, around there. He's running.
What was his name again?
Mr. Tabi, Sal Tabi.
Okay.
He's running for office, and I am aware. I don't remember the names exactly right now, but I know there are a few of them running for office.
So we could see possibly
some of them.
Would be a first.
Maybe.
Yes.
You know, this state is a monopoly. You know, the Democratic Party and the bureaucracy, the jobs they create. You know, and all the positions they give to people. So they control because the unions. So that's the way they elect the official. But my opinion is that it's completely wrong to have only one party running the state. That's regardless Democratic or Republican. One party is abuse of power, and that's not in my book.
Now, who is the national leader of the Republican Hispanic Assembly?
Right now is Alci Maldonado.
From
Florida. She's in Florida, Lakewood, Florida. She's from Colombia, by the way. She's not Cuban, but she's very conservative, like me. That's where we get along.
Does she hold any elective office?
No, she's not elected.
Did she ever? No.
I don't believe that she did.
Now, here in New England, is there like a New England, you know, the 6 states, well, is there a organization for, I mean, is there like a New England director? Let's put it that way.
Well, right now I am acting like for New England.
You are?
For Massachusetts, because practically is nothing in Rhode Island or Connecticut.
Okay.
So I'm member of the Credential Committee to the National Office. I have a very good relation with Alci. Maybe, I don't know, in the future, maybe I could be the second co-chairman of the Republican Assembly nationally. But that's a little further down the road.
Right. Are you familiar with Leslie Sanchez?
Leslie Sanchez, isn't she a reporter or something like that?
Well, it says here,
running for congressman.
Well, it says here on June 25th, 2003, Leslie Sanchez resigned her White House initiative position to form her own consulting firm, Impacto Group, LLC, the, quote, first Republican political strategy and research group aimed solely at the U.S. Hispanic marketplace. And her book, it's called Los Republicanos. It says why Republicans and Hispanics need each other, was published in 2007. Is she anything?
Well, I don't know her personally, so I heard of her. You know, she was in the White House and she had a good job there, and then just she left and created a new organization, whatever.
Well, it mentions in her book, it says Sanchez makes the argument that since most Hispanics share core beliefs with the Republican Party and represent the fastest growing minority, then they can and should play an integral role in forming a conservative majority. The book has been cited by one reviewer as, quote, a prototype analysis that can be applied to other minority groups in America. Do you agree with this?
Possible. I believe that one of the problems that we have in the Hispanic community is that it's like in the citizens all the time. We have what is called the silent majority. So the silent majority decides the elections. For the people that are independent, so forth, they don't talk too much, they don't know politicians, they don't participate, they're low-key. And the Hispanic, I believe there are many Hispanics that don't make noise. They are maybe, I don't believe it's a majority, but it's a great number of people that make the decisions quiet and at home. They look at the issues. They are conservative because Hispanics by nature they are Christians. They love the family. So we have Hispanic families have the tradition that goes with the Republican Party traditions. So I think that's a good issue for us.